Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Abaya, and I am a wife, mother, grandmother, and keeper of the commandments. I know it's been a while since you guys have heard from me. I've been having some things going on. Um, we did move, and my husband had a project that he needed me to work on, and that took a while. But I'm back. Your girl's been busy, 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 but I am back. Um, and today I wanted to talk about a pretty controversial subject. Um, I know a lot of sisters are not going to like me for this one. Um, but it is what it is. I gotta let you know the truth. And the topic of this video is going to be every woman listens to somebody. Um, yeah, every woman listens to somebody. I know that a lot of times we feel like we have these independent thoughts and um, but the truth is, as women, we're really not wired like that. Going back to our foremother Eve, we're as women, we just really not wired like that. Um, we are wired to follow. You know that is why the men were set up as leaders. Um, we're just wired to follow. Um, and it's supposed to be our father and then our husband once we are given to our husband. But of course, not all women are married, and the ones that are not, a lot of them are not still in their father's house. So, the question becomes, whose voice are you listening to? Who's the voice that is leading you? Who is influencing you? You know, we don't, as women, we don't develop beliefs in isolation. Someone is shaping the way we think. And so, like I said, the question isn't, am I being influenced? It's who is influencing me, you know. And I apologize if you hear my fan in the background, but it is really hot here where I am. It's like 90 degrees or whatever. So I do have my fan going. So apologize if you can, hear that. Also with my audio, I've been having trouble with it. So, you know, it is what it is. I will work on fixing that for the next video, but hopefully you don't have any trouble hearing me. Um, so, every voice that we hear, it plants seeds in us, um, and kind of shapes, who we become as a woman, what our thoughts are on marriage, children, life, success, just everything. Um, so you got to think about the things that you constantly consume, whose voices you're constantly consuming. Um, you know, if someone is speaking into your life every day, they do eventually begin to shape how you see the world, um, and what kind of woman you are. Many women don't realize that they've adopted beliefs that they never really, you know, intentionally chose or thought that they would. Um, Proverbs 11 and 14 tells us that where no counsel is, the people fall. But in the multitude of counsel, there is safety. Um, so everyone has counselors. For some women, it's their mother, grandmother, sisters, best friend, co-workers. For some women, it's like YouTube, podcast, Facebook, TikToks, relationship coaches. Someone is constantly giving you advice. And the quality of your life does often reflect the quality of those people. So you just have to be careful who you are listening to and what you are taking in. Like I said, that person is supposed to be your husband. Well, your father, and then your husband once you are given to him. Um, a lot of women push against having husbands, um, or even being in their father's house. They want to be seen as independent. Why? I have no idea. But they want to be seen as independent. Um, so they think that they're doing their own thing. But many women spend hours every day consuming content. You know, every Facebook post, every reel, influencers, entertainment. Um, and you don't even have to enroll in a class to be educated these days. Your phone has become your classroom. But the wrong voice can produce the wrong fruit. And you know that with the algorithms these days, um, if they think that you um, think a certain kind of way, they will push it. They will continue to push it um, in like their recommendations or the reels that they show you or what have you. And, and you're being influenced by it. If you don't have that hedge, the Bible says in the Apocrypha that the husband is a hedge. If you don't have that hedge, I'll say that again. If you don't have that hedge, then you're being influenced by things that may not be good for you. You know, if you listen to angry people long enough, you're going to become angry. If you listen to bitter people long enough, you're going to become bitter, you know. Uh, so we have to be careful. We have to be careful. Know that Eve changed because she accepted another voice. Um, Before she started acting differently, she started listening differently. It was not her husband that she was listening to any longer. Um, it was just one conversation that changed her thinking, and then once her thinking changed, her behavior changed. Destruction often begins when we are being influenced by and listening to the wrong voices. Um, you know, and then there are women like Eve. There are women who do have husbands, and they will ask everybody except their husband. Um, they'll talk to their mom, their best friend, a sister. They will post in these Facebook groups, and don't get me started on these sister groups on Facebook. I may make a video about that one of these days. Um, you know, but they will ask everybody except their husband. They don't even go to the Most High. Um, and it's crazy, and it's sad that we have this kind of thought process when the book says differently. The book says to ask your husband. It does. It says to ask your husband. If you don't have a husband and you're not in your father's house, well, I get into that on another video as well, another controversial subject. But if you're a single woman, you're just out of order. Most High's not dealing with you. I hate to say that. Most High's not dealing with single women. There's not proper order. If you don't have a husband, not everyone has a husband. Not everyone's going to have a husband. But you are supposed to be in your father's house, uh, or the nearest kinsman. But anyway, again, that's another topic for another day. Um, but you're being taught by somebody. You know, you're being taught. by somebody. We be thinking that we are having these independent thoughts. We are not. We are not. Um, and it's sad. And it's sad. So just watch your circle. Watch the circle. Watch what voices that you are listening to, the books you read, um, conversations you have, and social media. Ooh, it's probably our biggest influence. Yeah, yeah. We listen to these teachers. Well, I'm not even gonna get into that, but yeah, just be careful what you are consuming. You know, every woman listens to somebody. Every woman is following someone's advice, someone's example, or someone's philosophy. No one is being uninfluenced. Now, that influence is supposed to come from your husband, who is supposed to be influenced by the Most High. You know, um, and then if you don't have a husband, your father. But just question everything that you are listening to, because the question isn't whether or not you are listening. The question is whose voice is the greatest influence on your life. Um, yeah, and I think that is going to be it for today's video. I do hope that you got something from it. Um, if you did, leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Um, and if you don't mind, just, uh, subscribe to my channel for more content. I will be getting back in the habit of making more regular content. Um, and we do have something special coming up starting next month. I will tell you more about that later. Um, but yeah, subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And I will talk to you in the next video. Thank you for joining Crowned and Covered today. Um, and enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.